So, have you already...
They've been oriented.
Okay. So you have an idea of what we're going to be doing here. I would like you to cut down your talking and only talk about Dhamma. Okay. Now the retreat is going to be a loving kindness retreat. And what that really entails is learning how to smile all the time. There's a real interesting thing that happens when the corners of your mouth go down, so does your mental state. When the corners of your mouth go up, so does your mental state. I don't care whether you don't feel like smiling. I want you to smile anyway. Okay? It's important because it helps bring your mind up. And it will help joy arise. And when you have joy in your mind is very clear, your mind is very alert, and it's very easy to see when your mind starts to get pulled down. So smiling is a real important aspect of this practice. When you practice loving kindness meditation, you first start by sending loving and kind thoughts to yourself. Remember a time when you were happy, when you held a little baby in your arms, when you held a little animal in your hands. And that feeling that you get from that is a nice, warm, glowing feeling in the center of your chest. As soon as that feeling arises, then you make a wish for your own happiness. May I be happy. May my mind be peaceful and calm. May my mind be filled with joy. Any kind of wish that you make for yourself, you need to feel that wish. You know what it feels like to be happy. You know what it feels like to be peaceful and calm. Bring that feeling up and put that feeling right in the center of your chest, in that glowing feeling. And stay with that as long as you can. Now, your mind is going to wander, and it's okay. We're not trying to shut our mind down and stop it from thinking. But as soon as you notice that you're not on the feeling of loving kindness and feeling that wish, then recognize that your mind has become distracted. Let go of that distraction. The way you let it go is that you don't continue thinking those thoughts. You just let those thoughts go. Don't keep your attention on them. Next, relax the tension and tightness in your head. Now your mind, or your head, is made up of two lobes like this. And there's a membrane that goes around each lobe. It's called the meninges. Every time you have a thought, every time you have a sensation arise, every time you have a feeling arise, that membrane tightens. Okay? Now what you want to do is be able to recognize that and relax it. And when you relax, you'll feel kind of an expansion feeling in your head because that pressure is taken off. This is a very important aspect of this training. Now, what that tightness is craving. That's how you can recognize what craving is. It always manifests as tension and tightness in your mind and in your body around your brain. So you want to relax that, and when you do that, you'll notice right after that you don't have any thoughts in your mind. Your mind is very bright, your mind is very alert. Your mind is pure because it doesn't have any craving in it at that time. Then you need to bring up a wholesome thing. That's why we want you to smile. And then come back to your object of meditation. Your object of meditation is a feeling of loving kindness, and make a wish for your own happiness. And then stay with that as long as you can. It doesn't matter how many times your mind gets distracted. Okay, if you can have your mind running all over the place, as soon as you notice it, let it go. Let go of it. Don't continue thinking that thought. Relax. Smile. Come back to your object of meditation. If your mind wanders 50 times in a sitting and 50 times you notice your mind is wandering, you let it go, you relax, smile, and then come back. That is a good meditation. So the whole thing comes down to not judging, not condemning yourself because you think you should be doing better than you're doing. It's just simply noticing, letting go, relaxing, smiling, come back and do it again. Every time you do this, you are practicing right effort. Your mindfulness will get very sharp the more times you notice that your mind is distracted and you let go of that distraction. Don't get caught in the content of your thoughts. Your story doesn't matter at all. Okay? Now the whole point of Buddhism is learning how mind's attention works. Not why. We don't care about why this story came up. We want to know how mind's attention moves from one thing to another. That's the definition of mindfulness. How does mind's attention move? So the more times your mind gets distracted, and you notice that and let it go and relax and smile and come back, the better your meditation becomes. Eventually what's going to happen is your mind will start to stay on your object of meditation for a longer period of time, and the distractions won't last for quite as long. When you first start off, you can get distracted for a minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever. It doesn't matter. As soon as you recognize that your mind is not with the meditation, don't criticize yourself, don't condemn yourself. Just go, oh, okay. Now you use the 6 R's again. This is a game of do it again. Okay, it doesn't matter how many times your mind gets distracted. It's fine. Understand that every time you have a distraction, that's helping you to improve your mindfulness. So the whole point is learning how to recognize mind's attention moving from one thing to another. How? That's the Buddha's question. How does this work? How does it happen? And you'll get more instruction in that as time goes by with the Dhamma talks. So it doesn't matter how many times your mind gets distracted. What matters is that you recognize it, release it, relax, re-smile, and return to your object of meditation. And repeat that as often as it needs to be done. So, for the first 10 minutes of every sitting, you spend sending loving and kind thoughts to yourself. After 10 minutes, then you start to send loving and kind thoughts to a spiritual friend. A spiritual friend is someone of the same sex, and they are alive. A spiritual friend is someone that when you think of them and their good qualities, you really respect them. You like them. You really, honestly, sincerely wish them well. The more sincere you are, the easier the meditation becomes. The more interest you take in wishing your friend well, the easier the meditation becomes. So you're sitting and you're wishing yourself happiness. May my mind be peaceful and calm. As I feel this happiness, I wish this for you. May you be peaceful and calm. Take your spiritual friend, put them right in the middle of your heart, that glowing feeling with the wish, and surround them with that feeling. Give them a big heart hug. While you're sitting, please don't move your body. Don't rock. Don't shift back and forth. Don't scratch. Don't rub. Don't change your posture. Sit, and you can move as much as he does. Okay? Sit still. Now, while you're doing this, there are going to be some sensations that can arise in your body. Feel an itch, feel heat, feel vibration, feel a pain. Don't move. Sit very still and watch how mind's attention goes to that. The first thing you'll notice when a pain arises is your mind goes to that sensation. Let's say it's your knee. The next thing you'll notice is your mind is starting to think about it. I wish it would not bother me now. I wish it would go away. Why does it have to interfere with my meditation? Every thought about the pain causes the pain to get bigger and more intense. So the first thing you do is relax, let go of the thoughts, relax the tightness in your mind, and then you will notice that there is a tight mental fist wrapped around that sensation. That tight mental fist is aversion. You don't like it there, you don't want it there, you want it to go away. But that aversion is there. Now the truth of the present moment is, be ready for this one, when pain arises, it's there. Okay? That's the truth. When it's there, it's there. And it's okay for it to be there. It has to be okay. Because that's the truth. It's there. So what you do is let go of that tight mental fist and let that sensation be there by itself. Don't try to change it. Don't try to control it. Don't try to make it be something other than it is. Anytime you do that, you're fighting with the truth. Anytime you fight with the truth, you are fighting and causing yourself suffering. It's that simple. And you're causing that suffering to yourself. I love her. What more could I say? So, your job is to allow the present moment to be there without any control. Just let it be there. It's okay, but don't keep your attention on it. Now you've recognized that your attention is there. You let it be there. You relax. You smile. You come back to your object of meditation. Whoops, there it is again. Now, let go of the thoughts, relax, let go of that tight mental fist, relax, let it be. Smile, come back to your object of meditation. It doesn't matter how many times your mind gets distracted. Your mindfulness is like putting coins in a piggy bank. Every time your mind gets distracted, you notice it, you come back to your object of meditation, it's like putting a coin in the bank. Eventually that bank gets full, but it doesn't happen right away. So the more times you can allow things to be the way they are, and relax into them, and smile and come back to your spiritual friend, the sharper your mindfulness becomes. You'll start to stay with your spiritual friend for a longer period of time. The distraction, when it comes, and there will be distractions, I promise. The distraction will start to be shorter as your mindfulness improves. Again, this is a smiling meditation. That means I want you all to be smiling right now. Okay. Keep that smile going. How does your mind feel when you're smiling? Oh, isn't that nice? So the more you can have that kind of mind, the faster your progress becomes. One of the reasons that I like to teach this kind of meditation in particular is because the Buddha said that with this meditation your progress is faster than it is with any other kind of meditation. I don't care what kind of meditation you've done in the past. Let it go. Don't mix and match, because that'll slow down your progress. You have to develop the beginner's mind. You don't know what's going to happen next. Stop projecting it. Don't get caught in thinking that you know what's going to happen next, because you don't. I mean, this roof can fall in right now. Who knows? Let go of all your past experience with meditation. I felt this one before. I know what this is all about. You don't. Because this particular meditation is different than anything else you've ever done. Why? Because you're learning how to let go of craving. There's very few of us in the world that teach letting go of craving. You will be able to recognize it always as tension and tightness in your head, in your mind. Now sometimes you get the feeling going real good and everything is going along, and all of a sudden the feeling goes away. And then you start trying harder. And then you have some restlessness arise. And then you try harder. And then the restlessness really gets a hold of you. Does this sound familiar? And what you have to do is, instead of trying harder to make your mind get back to where it was stop trying so hard. And learn to develop a sense of humor about how crazy your mind is with trying. Because it is. Welcome to the human race. We're all crazy. And it's okay to be crazy. All we have to do is learn from our mistake. And the mistake is trying to get this present moment to be like that past moment was. Now, if that's not funny, I don't know what is. Now, it really sounds odd to hear this statement. Meditation is supposed to be fun. How many times has anybody told you that? It is fun. When you have a sense of fun about your practice and how crazy your mind can be, that helps to balance your mind so that you're not caught anymore. Okay? Now, the thing that's real important is that when you can laugh with yourself about getting caught again, that laughter changes your perspective. Okay? You go from, I don't like this, I don't want it to be this way, to, it's only this. That's what laughter does. Make this meditation fun. Enjoy. There's nothing wrong with enjoying. I know I had 20 years of experience that everything is suffering. Okay? I know that game. And it's a dead-end street. It doesn't work. If you're going to dwell on suffering, that means that you're going to suffer more. And that's okay, you want to do that to yourself, that's up to you, but I kind of like having fun more. Anytime your mind gets serious, guess who has an attachment? Okay? You get serious about this person said that, and I don't like that, and now you're all caught up in taking every thought that you have personally. Every time you take something personally, you are causing yourself suffering. You can't blame somebody else, because you're doing it to yourself. The whole point of the Buddha's teaching is to recognize when you have an attachment Let go of the attachment and relax. Bring up something wholesome. Smile. Come back to your object of meditation. Keep that object of meditation going. That's right effort. That's the 6 R's. They're exactly the same. Right effort will take you all the way to Nibbana. And you can't get to Nibbana when you have attachments. Sit no less than 30 minutes. When your sitting is good, don't break it. Sit longer, as long as you're comfortable. When it's time to break your sitting, that doesn't mean you stop your meditation. It just means you change your posture. So you stay with your spiritual friend, wishing them well, and you get up and you go outside and you do your walking meditation. Walking meditation is walking at a normal pace, not a slow pace, at a normal pace, just like you walk in your daily life. This is a training for your daily life. Remember this. Stay with your spiritual friend. Now when you're walking, pick a spot that's 30 or 40 or 50 feet, whatever you're comfortable with, and just walk back and forth. Okay? And stay with your spiritual friend as much as you can remember. The walking is going to be somewhat difficult at first because you're not used to that. You're used to walking around thinking about this, thinking about that, getting caught up in all that nonsense stuff. And it's hard to stay with your spiritual friend, but that's okay. As soon as you recognize that you're thinking about something else, you do the same thing as you do in the sitting. You let it go, you relax, you smile, you come back to your spiritual friend. It doesn't matter how many times your mind gets distracted. Now, when you're doing your walking, it's best not to be looking around. Because you look around, that's where your mind goes, and all of a sudden you're 1,000 miles away from here. So just keep your eyes down, gently down, not making a big deal out of it. And you'll notice that you're able to stay with your spiritual friend a little bit easier when you do that. 10 or 12 feet in front of you is fine. Now, when you're doing your sitting meditation and you're radiating loving kindness to your spiritual friend, you want to see your spiritual friend in your mind's eye. Now, for some people, it's very easy to visualize. You can see their face and you can see them doing all kinds of things. It doesn't matter. For other people, visualization is very difficult. You can visualize with your thoughts about them. Okay, you don't have to necessarily see them in your mind's eye, but you know that they're happy. You see them in your mind as being happy. Whether you visualize that happiness or not doesn't really matter. Now you want about 75% of your attention on this feeling, this radiating feeling from your chest. You want about 20% of your attention on the making of the wish and putting that wish, that feeling of the wish, into your heart. Now, a lot of people, and about 5% of your attention on visualizing. So the visualizing isn't that doesn't take that much attention. Don't try real hard. Now, the thing with visualizing, sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes it's fuzzy, sometimes it's like it's a long ways away. That doesn't matter. Don't put your attention so much on visualizing. It's more, this is a feeling meditation. So you want to feel that radiating, glowing feeling, and that will start to grow by itself and get bigger and bigger. But you always take your friend and put them in the middle of your heart. In your mind, see them smiling, see them happy, and that can help remind you to smile. Now, there's more to smiling than just pasting something on your face. You want to smile with your mind. Keep your mind light. Don't try. Have fun. That keeps your mind light. You want to smile with your eyes, even when your eyes are closed. You'd be surprised how much tension is in your face. When you smile with your eyes, that all dissipates. A little Buddha smile on your lips and a smile in your heart. So there's more to smiling than just the corners of your mouth. A lot of people will ask me, is it all right to change the wish? Yes, of course it is. Whatever you feel is appropriate. There are people that come to me and they say, oh, I have this friend that's really confused and going through all kinds of problems. Can you radiate some loving kindness to them? Okay, I do that. And what I wish for them is a clear, uplifted mind. Do you know what it feels like to have a clear mind? Do you know what it feels like to have an uplifted mind? Put that feeling in your heart. Put that person right in the middle of that. This is important. You have to feel the wish. You can't give something to somebody else that you don't have yourself. So you feel that wish. If it's for happiness or joy, cheerfulness, accepting mind, clear mind, it's all up to you. Stay with the same wish for a little while. But don't make that wish over and over. May you be happy, may you be happy, may you be happy, may you be happy. Make the wish one time, feel that wish, stay with that feeling, and radiate that feeling to your friend. Then your mind gets distracted, you use the 6 R's, do this whole process again. So, when you come back from your walking, don't walk any less than 15 minutes. Walking at a normal speed, that helps get the circulation going. And that will help you later on. But you stay with your spiritual friend. One of the things that will happen, especially the first day, is you will start to get some sloth and torpor, sleepiness. How does sleepiness arise? Sleepiness arises because you're with your spiritual friend and then you start thinking little tiny thoughts. They're just ho-hum thoughts. They're not much about anything. And then they get a little bit bigger and then you start to get into a dreamy state. And then your posture starts to slump. And before long your head is bobbing. And the mistake that everybody makes is they notice they're doing that they sit up really straight and say, I'm really not going to do that again, and then they do it again. Okay? Now, the reason that sloth and torpor comes up in the first place is because you're not taking enough interest in the feeling of loving kindness and sending that to your spiritual friend. You're just kind of ho-humming it. So you need to have more interest in what you're doing while you're doing it. That's the way you develop your mindfulness. I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when you get caught with sloth and torpor. Then what you want to do is you're supposed to sit with your back nicely straight. But when you get sloth and torpor, straighten it a little bit more so it's almost uncomfortable. And then you'll have those little tiny thoughts and get dreamy and your back starts to slump. You'll be able to recognize it more easily. And then you can straighten your back up and come back to your object of meditation. Now we're not worrying about the content of the thoughts. We're wanting to see how that happens. Right? The whole point of meditation is your mind is on your object of meditation and it goes over here and thinks about this or that. How did that happen? Not why did it happen. We don't care about why. Why is for psychologists. They can worry about that. But how did that happen? Your mind was here and now it's there. There's a process that you have to be able to recognize. What happened first? What happened after that? What happened after that? What happened after that? The more you take an interest in how your mind becomes distracted, the easier it will be to recognize this process and catch it a little bit quicker and relax and smile and come back. This is very important. How does this work? As you're able to recognize how this works, you start seeing how attachment works. And what is attachment? Always, attachment is I am that. I am that thought, I am that feeling, I am that sensation. This is me. Craving always manifests as the I like it, I don't like it mind. It happens automatically. A pleasant feeling arises, oh, I like that one. That's what your mind does. A painful feeling arises, oh, I don't like that one. It's the I like it, I don't like it mind. That's the thing that causes the meninges, that membrane that goes around your brain, to contract a little bit. That's how you can recognize it. So, the more you recognize the tension and tightness, and relax, and smile, and come back to your object of meditation, the easier things become, and the faster you learn how your mind works. You teach yourself by your own experience. I don't teach you. I give suggestions. You can use them or not. See if it works. If it doesn't, then don't use it. It's your choice. One thing you don't want to do is recognize when there's some kind of painful thing and then you start releasing, relaxing, and you come and complain to me, this doesn't work. No, it works. You got to do it right. That's the problem. You don't just release and relax and release and relax and expect that painful thing to go away. You release, you relax, you re-smile, you come back to your object of meditation. Every time. That's your home base. Always go home. Don't stop diddling around with release, relax, and not go home. Because you're not improving your mindfulness when you do that. You start putting in too much energy and too much effort, and you cause yourself all kinds of problems. These instructions are very precise. They are very exact. Don't add anything, don't subtract anything. This is the Buddha's teaching. It's not my teaching. The Buddha was one of the most magnificent beings ever, because he figured all this stuff out all by himself. It's amazing. And the reason that his teaching is still around today is because it works. That's the truth. So, you have to let go of all your past experiences with doing the meditation. You have to let go of your thinking that maybe if I do this, I'll be able to have this other thing happen. No, you have to let all that go. It's simple. Just practice the 6 R's. Just smile. Have fun. Relax. Simple. Not easy. Because it depends on your old habits. Because the old habits are going to crop up once in a while, aren't they? But as you start to recognize how these things work and how you cause yourself suffering, then it starts to dawn on you, I don't need to do that. Why am I doing that to myself? No need. Let it go. Keep it simple. Don't add anything. Okay? Now, they talk to you about the schedule and all of that sort of thing. It is good to be, especially in the morning, 5 minutes early. Okay? It is good. Because we're not going to start doing the morning service until everybody is here. So you don't want to be the last one in. Okay? Keep warm, especially in the evenings.
Drink lots of water. We didn't say that to you.
You need to drink quite a bit of water because in the daytime you dehydrate and you don't know it. And that will affect your meditation negatively. So make sure you have enough fluids coming in. When you're taking a shower, 5 minutes. That's it. Don't use any more water than that. And actually, turn the water on, get your body wet, turn the water off, soak down, rinse it off, get out. That's the way we have to do it because water is very precious here. So, I can't think of anything else right off. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said that to send that loving feeling to a friend of the same sex? Well, can you send it to someone from the opposite sex as well?
No.
So
Your mind will start to have lust arise. And what happens is you get infatuated with that person and you start thinking about all kinds of things about them and how you're going to be when you get off retreat, and it drives you crazy. Don't do that.
But wonder if you're gay.
Then I'll change the meditation to another meditation. Loving kindness is not for everyone.
Well, if you're gay though, then wouldn't you choose one of the opposite?
No.
No, it would be something else?
Because what happens is the other person will respond. You may not, but you'll trigger it off of the other person. It can cause all kinds of problems.
It can cause problems. It's loving kindness is not for every kind of personality. If you're gay, then I will give you the breathing meditation, because that doesn't matter. And the instructions are pretty much the same. So I need to know that. When you come to the first interview, I don't care whether you are or not. Doesn't matter. But for your spiritual progress, I need to know so that we can adjust, so that everything will work out very nicely for you.
I was thinking like of a wife or a child.
No, not right now.
Okay.
You have to understand, this is a training period. When you get to a certain degree of skill, then I will change it, and you can do your wife and your kids and other things. But there has to be some equanimity in there. Now, I told you to not, the person has to be alive and they have to be the same sex. Also, not a member of your family. If you do it with a member of your family has a tendency to do some things that you don't like. And guess what comes up in your mind? So you pick somebody that's a little bit further away than that. Someone that you respect very much. You can pick a monk, you can pick a good friend, whatever. It's up to you. Or a nun. So, is there any other question? Tomorrow I will talk more about hindrances and what you do with hindrances when they arise. But I want to give you a chance to have your sits. Now, one of the things, for 20 years I went through this practice of you sit for an hour and you walk for an hour. And everybody did it all together. But you sit for a half an hour and sit longer when your meditation is good. Sometimes an hour and a half sitting can seem like it's 5 minutes. Sometimes a half an hour sitting seems like it's hours. But you have to be able to you start extending your sitting as you get used to the meditation. You'll be able to sit for longer. You sit for 45 minutes, you sit for an hour, sit for an hour and a half, sit for 2 hours. That's fine, as long as you're not pushing, as long as you're not forcing. This is a natural unfolding. This is the way the Buddha wanted us to do the practice, so that naturally your mind will develop and you will start to go deeper through your understanding of how this process works. So there's not going to be any interviews tomorrow. I want to give you to get a chance to do a little bit of practice first. And then after that, I'll see everybody every day individually. But if you run across some kind of problem tomorrow, come and tell me. Okay? Just understand that the first day of a meditation retreat is by far the hardest part of the whole retreat, because your mind is still out there. And it's going to have resistance to coming in. So it's going to put you through some kinds of changes, and that's fine. Now you're going to be getting roughly 8 hours of sleep anyway, right? You go to bed at 10 o'clock, you get up at 5 o'clock. Hours. You get an hour after lunch, that's 8 hours. Do you understand what a walk in the park this is?
It really is.
I mean, when I was in Burma, I went to bed at 11 o'clock, I got up at 3 o'clock. And then they told me I was being lazy. So I went to bed at 12 o'clock, got up at 2 o'clock. And I did that for 3 months. I don't recommend it. So you're going to have plenty of rest. So please don't go to bed until 10 o'clock. Okay? And this is for you, so you have enough time to really do the practice. You'll see the advantages of this. Anything else? Okay, let's share some merit. The suffering ones be suffering free, and the thirst of fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddhist dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu.